Afternoon, uh, to all you investors, traders, and you degenerates. Always trying to remember to call out you degens. And it's okay to be a degenerate. That's how we start in this game, right? I was one too. I was one too. Because I didn't know any better, you know? Uh, Back when I first started speculating, um, this is kind of pre-internet. There wasn't any good information. You had to really dig for it. Um, some of it was just peeling through the financial pages of a newspaper, right? And looking at these numbers on these ticker symbols and like wondering what is all this stuff going on, right? So, and then things kind of improved in the 2000s. That's when people start blogging, creating their economic blogs, and posting charts, etc. But this is still pre-YouTube. Still pre-YouTube. When did YouTube really get popular? I would say cat videos started popping up in 2006, right? Yeah. But people didn't really start creating their own channels till, I don't know. When would you say? 7, 8 years ago? Maybe 5 years ago? So even though YouTube's been around almost 20 years, yeah, it's coming up on 20 years. It's I think the rise has been on the S curve, right? Starts off slow, then it gradually rises. But in the last, I would say, 5 to 7 years, that's when you've seen the explosion happen, right? And it will taper out, and maybe entering the tapering period because there's now censorship going on. People creating their alternative platforms like Twitch and Bityard and not Bityard, yeah, I think Bityard, something like that. Library, I don't know. I've never been on those different platforms anyway. I'm sidebarring, but what did I want to say? Back to the degenerates, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of my mission, right? Saving you the years of pain that I went through and many others like me went through, because the info wasn't out there and the voices were either not there or not of good quality and downright confusing, right? So in that environment, your best bet would have been just to buy a house, buy some US stocks, and just kind of work it out yourself. I think Yahoo Finance, I remember that back in the day. The message boards on that was quite vibrant and active, right? I remember investing in True Religion Gene Company back in like what was it, maybe 05, 06, maybe 05. I spotted a trend, right? I saw people went from buying Levi's and Lees and Wranglers to spending $120 on a pair of jeans. It's just blue cotton, right? And I was like, hey, this is an interesting trend. Premium designer jeans, regular people will buy them, right? Your average guy working or girl who wants to impress other people, they were spending $120 on a pair of jeans. And I remember I first started selling them on eBay, like picking them up cheap and then selling them on eBay. I don't know if they were original, I doubt it. So I was just buying them in bulk, maybe like 20, 50, 30, whatever, and just selling them on eBay at a discount, huge discount, because they're probably not direct from Nordstrom's or whatever, Macy's, right? So that lasted for a few months, and I was like, let's do some more digging. Is this actually a investable company? And it wasn't. It was I remember the ticker TRLG, and so just going on Yahoo Finance and just searching and trying to find out who owns this company. And I think I was kind of there when it first kind of started trading on the pink sheets. I forget what the exchange is called. is it OTC or AIM? Alternative investment market, right? Super low cap. And I was probably in the whole trade for over a year, but I never cashed out on my profits. And so I made a lot of money on the stock, but I never cashed out. And then I saw my gains disappear. I think it went into because so I was there when they went from 0 stores to 1 stores, and they were building out stores across the United States, right? And maybe they grew too fast, so maybe they took a hit on the financials, and I think their stock price took a hit. So maybe I exited it out of profit, but I didn't maximize my gains. And then I start, messing around with that money into other things, and so on. Okay, so you young investors, you're degenerates. I'm sorry, you degenerates. I want you to save time for you guys, because time is precious. As a guy, you got a limited amount of energy. From 25 to 50, right? Let's just say that's 25 years, right? So if you can start off at 25 with good mentors, some good knowledge, and some drive and passion about growing your wealth, creating something, like maybe building a business, by the time you hit mid-40s, you can really kick back, right? You still got the energy, still got the drive, but now you've got multiple streams of income, you've got multiple assets, and you can't be messed with, right? That's the kind of goal, right? You don't want to be in your late 50s, stuck at your corporate job, and just grinding out another 10 years before you can get to retirement age. You want to be done by 40, I believe, because that's when your value as a guy should be maximum. Late 30s, early 40s, that's when you can start a family, right? You got your wealth, you got your income, you got your knowledge, and you'll be like the number one catch in your town or city, right? That's what's I'm trying to get you guys there. Maybe not all of you. Maybe it's just a handful of you guys that listen and kind of take on board what I'm trying to preach. I guess I'm preaching on a Sunday, but yeah. And even you girls, if you any girls watching, men have got that time. We've got that race against time. Time waits for no man, but it also applies to women too, because you got your biological clock, and you want to get your eggs in a row, your stuff situated and planned out. So by the time you're in your mid to early 30s, you can start your family as well, right? We're not having to worry about money or your job or promotions and playing the corporate game. It's getting sucked into the corporate game is a lose-lose endeavor, especially for you women. I really believe that. So a bit of red pill knowledge drops, but it's not going to be popular. But I'm not here for popularity. I'm here to give you actionable advice and to help, because it's all about the young people, right? You got the most precious asset that us old people envy. That's a lifetime in front of you. I'm in my early 40s, and so I have to work 2-3 times as hard, because I know that father time is tick-tocking away, and it seems when you hit my age that the days fly by like weeks. No, the weeks fly by like days, and like years go by like what seem to be a few months when you were in your 20s. So everything is sped up when you get old. It's just the Einstein relativity theory is true, because I think you got the lifetime of memories stored in your brain, and your brain is just constantly processing all these experiences and events. And so your new experience that you have when you're in your 40s is just a little grain of sand in a bigger pile of sand, right? So it has less effect. It's like less memorable. Well, if you're 19 and have amazing experience, that could be your first major awesome experience, right? So it has a greater impact on your psyche. So anyway, sidebarring. I keep sidebarring, but why do I do that? But I'm just trying to spit some of my experience. That's all. Coffee. That's what I need. So I've had a kind of like easy Sunday morning. I've been really pushing the gas pedal like last few weeks, and it's just nice to slow down. And Sunday you're supposed to slow down, but I still want to work a few hours anyway, right? Because why not? I can do it, and there's nothing else I really want to do. I don't want to just sit in front of the TV for a few hours or watch some sports that I'm not actually involved in. It's hard to cheer for other guys reaching their goals. Like when you watch a football game, these young guys who are pushing themselves forward, doing their training. I really admire and love that, but they're working towards their goals, not working towards your goals, right? So, yeah, sports as an adult, enjoy it. I mean, because last night was a UFC fight, which I didn't catch live because of the time, but I'm going to watch it tonight on a replay, right? And I'll have a crack a beer and watch the fight. I think George Masvidal, who was fighting, he's a proper beast. I haven't seen too many of his fights, but I know he's got that kind of a Conor McGregor attitude. And I think if those two ever meet up, it would be kind of sad because Conor's past his prime now, which is like weird to say. He's probably only like 32, but I think Conor's past his prime, right? So I think George is a few years younger, so that would be a great fight. Just to see the egos go at it, because that's what part of the fight game is about. It's two like rutting stags, right, going up against each other. It's not just about the mechanics or the fight itself. It's all the build up. It's part of it. It's all the the shit talk. It's all the drama. That is part of the fight game, and it's a crucial part of the game. Okay, so while I was like just kind of lazing around, I popped open YouTube, and I remember when I was on Twitter, Michael Saylor offered a challenge to Frank Giesta. He's an Italian dude. I don't know the history or the background of Frank, but I think he's a wealthy investor. I think he's primarily in the resource sector, so maybe gold, silver, mining, copper, etc. And I remember Saylor for a few weeks just goading him into like having a debate, right? And the funny thing was, because Saylor back in the day like bought a bunch of websites, right? And so Frank Giesta was like, yeah, we'll do it. And then one of Saylor's comebacks was like, yeah, you can go to frank.com because I own frank.com. And I think maybe you'll put like the events of this debate there, or maybe linked it to his MicroStrategy website. And so like it's kind of like proper, like in the fight game, kind of taking it to Frank even before the fight, proper, like the smack talk is beginning, right? And not just beginning, he's proving his value, right? That's what he's proving. He's proving that 20 years ago he was smart enough to register all these domains, and he's been sitting on them. Most of them, he probably sold off a few of them for like tens of millions, but some of them he's just probably left dormant, but he never sold them, because why would he sell something that could be very useful in the future? And like we're seeing now, frank.com, I never clicked on it. but I'm sure it links back to Michael Saylor, probably back to why Bitcoin is better than gold. And this is the debate, right? I haven't watched all of it, but I watched the first 5 minutes. I watched the first 5 minutes and I thought, wow, this is good stuff. Yeah, this is good stuff. This needs to be like retweeted, restreamed, and I figured, let's see if I can figure out a way to share it. And thanks to StreamYard, I think I have. So if this doesn't work the first time, I'll repost it because this is good stuff, right? So I think, is it Danielle Carboni or something is the moderator? I think she's from a Kitco website, which is a gold website. And so that's a good moderator to have, because the debate they're going to have is Bitcoin versus gold, right? And look at Saylor's face already. He's like kicked back. He's been like spitting Bitcoin knowledge for what, a year now? And he's been hustling for a year now on Bitcoin. So he knows inside out the technology, why it's important. And so he's probably got all this stuff so well ingrained in his brain. He knows he's going to trounce Frank. He knows it. Well, Frank is probably doing other things, you know, probably keeping an eye on his gold investments, etc. And he probably knows about Bitcoin. But a debate versus Saylor versus Frank, it's going to be like it's going to be a pummeling, right? So look at Saylor's face. He already knows he's won before the fight's even begun, right? Before the bell's even rung. So with all that build up, let's dig into this. And like I said, if this doesn't work, if the sound doesn't work, I'm gonna be slightly upset, but I think I will just, upload it as a separate video. Okay, let's try this. Let's press the play button. I'm gonna mute myself, but I'll hop in maybe with a couple of comments or something, or pause it and have a little give Balaji's opinion, right? All right, dude. All right, guys and girls, let's give this a whirl.
Please consider it your blank canvas, in a sense, to set the statements you'd like to make during this debate. Michael, please kick things off for us here.
Thanks, Danielle. So the debate is Bitcoin versus gold. I think that all gold holders and all Bitcoin holders agree on sound money principles, and the real debate is which is the best monetary system in order to pursue the ideals of sound money. So I think we start with some basic ideas. First of all, human civilization rises through channeling energy. We invented fire, that's capturing chemical energy. Then we build our cities next to rivers, we're capturing water, and we're channeling gravitational energy. The aqueducts were critical to the Roman civilization. When we compress air in a canister, we're channeling pressure. Electric systems and batteries are channeling energy. Lasers are channeling photons. If we want to better the human condition, we need to be able to capture, store, and channel that energy. Money is energy. Money is a store of value, and it's also a technology that allows us to trade that energy over time and space. So if we look at the history of money, we've gone from commodity money to coinage of those commodities, to notes represented by that money, to fiat currency, and now we have cryptography as a basis of money. Now, sometimes gold advocates say that gold is the ideal money. Well, really, the ideal money, if God came down and God waved his or her hand and created the ideal money, it would be based upon Luca Pacioli's modern accounting principles of double entry accounting. And if you had godlike power and you could implement a double entry ledger like Pacioli introduced in 1494, and perhaps you could define 21 million units that are infinitely subdividable, trillions and trillions of times each. You could maintain that in magic space, and then you could settle everybody's trades instantly everywhere on Earth, everywhere in the universe, in a fair and equitable fashion. That would be a good money. We could call that God coin. And God coin is like perfect instant transactions, never losing any information. Well, the next best thing that we've invented is, as humans, is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's the most efficient monetary system we've yet to implement successfully. It's 21 quadrillion Satoshis, 350,000 transactions a day. It cost about 10 basis points of the monetary network to clear those transactions and to secure the network. And it stores the value and provides security to everybody on the network effectively for free after those transaction fees. And the real debate.
Sorry, I had to pause it there. Well, I actually screwed it up a little bit by rewinding, but man, that's an opening right there. He just called Bitcoin God coin. Are you listening? He called Bitcoin God coin. And so if he keeps promoting this meme, it's a new meme now. It's gone from laser eyes to God coin, a holy coin. And what he's saying is absolutely correct, right? Storing economic energy, cities, how the cities are built, by the rivers, capturing the natural resources and channeling them to make small villages turn into prosperous domiciles, right? And growth, wealth, and all that stuff accumulates through humans channeling energy, right? And what you just said with the transactions is correct. 10 basis points can settle a Bitcoin transaction, right? So you can send £100,000 worth of, or dollars worth of value through Bitcoin network, and it will only cost you, let me see, quick math, 100 basis points is 1%. That's $100, no, $1,000. So 10 basis points is $100. So yeah, he's correct. Maybe it's even cheaper than that, right? Maybe it's only $30, $40, $50. So that, what he's just mentioned with the settlement, and he referenced in Italian masters who created double entry bookkeeping. Double entry bookkeeping created or kicked off the Great Awakening in Europe. The name of it escapes me right now, but it's basically Europe was in the Dark Ages, right? Through the middle of 11, 12, 13, 14th century. It was the Dark Ages for Europe. Not much going on. But the Italians, who were traders, Venice, Florence, etc., all these little cities were basically independent principalities. They started creating banking, and they did it through mathematicians who created ledgers, double entry ledger systems, so important stuff we just mentioned. And I'll bring back Michael right now. Where was he? I believe here. Let's see.
Money. If God came down and God waved his or her hand and created the ideal money, it would be based upon Luca Pacioli's modern accounting principles of double entry accounting. And if you had godlike power and you could implement a double entry ledger like Pacioli introduced in 1494, and perhaps you could define 21 million units that are infinitely subdividable, trillions and trillions of times each, you could maintain that in magic space, and then you could settle everybody's trades instantly everywhere on Earth, everywhere in the universe, in a fair and equitable fashion. That would be a good money. We could call that God coin. And God coin is like perfect instant transactions, never losing any information. Well, the next best thing that we've invented as humans is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's the most efficient monetary system we've yet to implement successfully. It's 21 quadrillion Satoshis, 350,000 transactions a day. It cost about 10 basis points of the monetary network to clear those transactions and to secure the network. And it stores the value and provides security to everybody on the network effectively for free after those transaction fees. Bitcoin's the most disruptive force in the century. In 12 years, it grew to $1 trillion in monetary value. That beats Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and the like. That's the market sending us a message. It's the
So this is also good, like cross comparison. Cross comparison the biggest winners over the past 15 years, right? Facebook, Google, Amazon, Apple. And maybe people don't even realize, investors on Wall Street, that Bitcoin has trounced that, right? So good stuff from Saylor again. This is 5 minutes of gold, and gold is getting trounced. Okay, back to Saylor.
next chapter in the mobile wave. We digitized our photos, we digitized our videos. Now we're going to digitize our money, and our currency and assets are going to flow to billions of people. Money is collapsing. We've got a massive inflation problem. We're losing 1% of our value in currencies every single month. Humanity, without an effective
1% a month, your money is getting eaten away. He is correct.
strong money is like a type 1 diabetic without insulin. You can't store energy, you can't create fat, you're going to starve to death. Without delivering effective money to the human race, everybody's going to either economically freeze or starve to death. Violence and misery are going to follow. Gold's not a solution. It's not practical to distribute gold in small quantities to 5 billion people. Bitcoin is a solution. It is spreading at more than 200% a year. We're adding 3 million users a week. It's accelerating. If I wanted to give knowledge, music, and money to the world, in the 19th century, you did it with books, pianos, and gold. They're now antiques for the elite. In the 21st century, you're going to use the internet platform and Bitcoin, and you're going to provide iBooks and Google and YouTube. You're going to provide Apple Music and Amazon Music and Spotify to everybody. And you're going to provide Bitcoin as an asset for everybody. Gold used to be the best solution. It isn't anymore. The time has come to pass the torch from gold to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's humanity's first effective engineered monetary system. It's just
Yeah, it's good stuff. Like, again, gold played its role, right? It played its role. It was a vital step in humans creating the financial system today. Without gold being backing, US dollars and various other currencies across the globe, we wouldn't have been able to expand humanity as the way we have. So having that sound money basis, the foundation, is key. But like he was saying, gold doesn't have a network, especially doesn't have an internet network. Bitcoin does.
profound as our rail networks, our road networks, our electrical networks, our telephone networks, and the internet. Bitcoin can and will deliver the virtues of strong money the gold idealists have long hoped for.
Michael, thank you for your opening statements. Now we'll go to Frank Giustra with your opening remarks. Please, 5 minutes of uninterrupted time.
Thank you. And Michael, thanks for agreeing to this debate.
All right. What do you guys think of that? That's pretty good, huh? Now I have to watch Frank's response, and maybe I'll create a separate video for that. But this was legendary opening remarks from Saylor. And if this gets spread about, it could provide plenty of fuel for Bitcoin's reemergence next week or the week after. We shall see. I haven't looked at the charts right now. So, hey, I hope you guys got something out of it, and hopefully this will help. This will help Bitcoin's moon mission. Or is it Michael Saylor's moon mission now? Because he seems to have taken the whole space upon his shoulders. And I think I first started off, kind of like looking at this guy and like, who is this guy? and it seemed kind of shady to me. You know, the way he went about picking up his Bitcoin and then only announcing he did after the fact. I was like, hey, this guy's going to dump. He's going to dump on you guys at some point, right? Probably towards the top. But, you know, just kind of seeing what he's been doing, I'm not too sure anymore. He could be a long-term hodler forever and ever. Because what's the alternative, right? What is the alternative? Like he was saying, your cash is getting eaten away 1% a year. And it seems the powers that be, the banks, don't seem to mind at all. So with that, guys, I shall end the stream. Okay, bye.